we have a microphone? What is going on? Now I don't have headphones. I don't. Oh, come on. Why don't I have headphones? Jesus. Hang on, I'm having technical difficulties. Oh, come on. I don't need this bullshit right now. I'm not getting power to my amplifier. Something's going haywire here. Hang on a minute. Yeah, but I can't. I got no headphones. I don't know why I don't have headphones. Something wrong with the amplifier. Hang on, we got to go to alternate plan C. Oh, wait a minute. 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 Oh, dumbass. I forgot. It takes time for tubes to warm up. That's why I didn't have any headphones. It takes time for tubes to warm up. Oh. At least the microphone's working. Yeah, with this microphone, I have to use my headphone amplifier, which I was using for quite a long time because it's got tubes. I've got 3 of these. And I forgot. It takes time for tubes to warm up. Like back in the day when our TVs had tubes. You turned it on, and then maybe 5 minutes later, the TV was working. I don't. I love these little things. Like I say, I've got 3 of them. Headphone amplifiers. Now, if I could just get the cords all untangled. Jesus. Oh, man. I got. There. Untangled the cord. There we go. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. Hold on a minute. I got more wires. Jesus. Now my headphone cord's all tangled. I had all this stuff I did, matter of fact, I did a sound check, and everything was sounding perfect. And I made the mistake of taking everything apart. I should have just left everything wired up, but no. Okay. Let me turn this down just a little bit. Okay. Yep. Turn it down too far. Turn it up a little bit. There we go. Now I can hear. I made some lighting adjustments, but I still can't get the effect that I want. Now you can see, you know, the BP building's lit up a little better, and you can see the terminal tower a little better, and the top of the key bank tower, but it's still not the way I want it. But I love this background. I love this background. Oh, God, do I love it. Now let me get the tablet booted up. Boy, Kathy, that was one hell of a big ass bear. I could see why it took 3 shots to put that son of a bitch down. Holy Christ. Of course, of course, all right, I'm a sick son of a bitch. I I would have loved to seen the body. I hate when they fuzz them out. I realize they do it respect for his family. I would have liked to seen the body. What do you mean it's tilted, Ron? It's on there perfectly. I mean, I can only clip it on the mount one way. It's perfectly straight across the top. That I mean, if I lowered it, everything would be all discombobulated. But at the top, it's clipped straight. And the clips at the bottom are holding it tight. So, I mean, it's square. It might be the camera angle, but it's on there square. All right, tablet, come on, boot up. There we go. Now I can't find my stylus. Oh, God, oh man. Oh, here it is. Why did I put it there? There. It's got to be the camera because it's mounted square. That's one thing that basically the top mounting bar, I I leveled it because originally when I set the unit up that's behind me, it was cattywampus. So I literally took 2 C clamps, C-clamped a big bar level across the top, and I had to put shims on this on the feet over here in order to get it level. So the mounting is level, and the backdrop, this is on there perfect. So it might be my camera because it's on there square. I didn't pay any attention when I did I played it this morning. I'll have to take a look. I don't know, maybe I'll kick the shims out over here. But the tapestry is on, it's on there square. Let's get started. Broadcasting. Come on, turn off. Thank you. Broadcasting live from downtown Cleveland, it's station WDWL TV. And I am the grumpy old man, and I am brought to you by Grumpy Vulture Productions. No bow. Now the license plate's crooked. There. I think the on-air sign's got a little tilt in it, but screw it. Man, I forgot how nice these little headphone amplifiers are. And I like this one because it's got a little headset around a tube. But this comes out. Oh, the display, the tubes. Now I can't get it back in. There we go. Yeah, I've got three. This one has orange tubes. The second one has red tubes. And the third one has blue tubes. One is just not enough. I mean, I could have got away with one, but I'm like, well, what if one doesn't work? I need a backup. And then I'm like, well, what if the backup don't work? Well, I need a backup to the backup. Yeah, this one has the red tubes. And this honking big boy has the blue tubes. I got this on sale from Rockville. Actually, I should have used this one. That's all right. I'll use this one tomorrow. It's the pain in the ass switching everything over. Although there might be a fourth one in my future. I got an email from Duke Audio, and they have a new headphone amplifier, and it's got green tubes, and it's got a view meter in it. I'm like, oh. Was there a package by your do not leave package here sign? I don't know. I went to the store and I backed in the driveway and I didn't even pay attention to the front porch. There's a possibility. I think they do it just to piss me off. I could go out and look. If you don't mind the pause in the festivities, I'll go out and look. All right, hold on. I'll go out and look. I need a flashlight. Flashlight. Did you have a photograph? A proof of delivery photograph? Is that how you knew that this goddamn was directly under both signs? I think they're doing it just to piss me off. It was directly underneath both signs that say, don't leave packages here, deliver to side door. I guess now I'm going to have to order the big sign. I'm going to have to order the big sign and put a post. And I hope they fucking run into it. This is getting ridiculous. And this is from Amazon. If you have delivery pictures, I would call the Amazon customer service and bitch. Because this is getting ridiculous. How many goddamn signs do I have to put out front? It appears to be a shirt. Let me get the mic out of the way. Another cool one. Fuck off. Fuck off. Fuck off. That's cute. That's hilarious. Fuck off. Fuck off. Absolutely hilarious. Ron's got a sick mind just like me. That is cool. That's hilarious. I love it. Let's see, which doctor appointment am I going to wear this one to? No, I don't want to wear it to my foot doctor. I don't want to piss him off. Oh. I'll wear this one to my pain management doctor appointment. Not so much for my one doctor, but his boss. The one that keeps really pissing me off. That is cool, and I like the color. It matches the facade. Cool, Ron. Thank you, buddy. You got a sick mind just like I do. Now let's put this somewhere where it's safe. Oh, over here. There we go. Oh. I don't know what. Let's see. What time did I come back from the store? Was about 3:30. Although, like I say, I didn't pay any attention to the front porch because I wasn't expecting anything. Oh, I didn't think of it. Yeah, Ron. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Although what I'll do, I'll wear this insulated vest. And when she tells me I can't eat all my favorite foods, I'll unzip the vest and go, fuck off, fuck off. That will work. As a matter of fact, I'll wear it to Dr. Tai Chi. Both doctors can experience. Yeah. Exercise and think your pain away. I told my shrink, I will one appointment with Dr. Tai Chi and one appointment with, I can't remember the dietitian's name, and I said, that's it. And I also told him that if my primary care doctor yells at me one more time, he's done. Especially since they have that new doctor. I don't put up with doctors that yell. Yeah, like I already know, the dietitian. Don't eat this, don't eat this, don't eat this, don't eat this. Can you read between the lines, Doc? Like, like I explained to my shrink the other day, I said, something is going to kill me. Something. I mean, we're not on Earth forever. I want to live my days out happy, enjoying the foods that I grew up on. And he agreed with me. He said, well, it's best to die with a smile on your face than a frown. Right. I mean, the perfect example. My buddy's wife was told, I think 3 years ago, to cut all sodium out of her diet. As much sodium as she could. She literally came home from the doctor's office and threw out her salt shakers. Although what happened during the summer, she was standing in her neighbor's garage talking with him and his wife. She passed out, smacked her head on the floor. She needed, I think, 5 staples. And the doctor said, well, you had a sudden drop in blood pressure. Let's do some blood tests. Ooh, you need sodium in your diet. What the? Now, yeah, she did go to the extreme. But first the doctor tells you no sodium, and then the doctor said, oh, on your way home, buy a salt shaker. And I like the way doctors, threaten, like, Do you want to end up having a bypass surgery? I wouldn't look forward to it. I mean, it wouldn't be the first item of choice of surgeries, but if I needed one, I guess I'd have to get one. Well, you can prevent, plaque buildup in your arteries. I got plaque on top of plaque on top of plaque. My blood pressure is just a, it was just a titch high. First thing you know, blood pressure pills. Now, it has come down a bit, but nothing that I would consider drastic. I still, and I've been saying this for years, doctors and drug companies are strange bedfellows. I really feel doctors get kickbacks. Oh, Kathy, you want to hear a good one? Because you're familiar with Metro Hospital. On the 18th, I have hospital van service ordered to take me to Dr. Tai Chi. I get a call today. We no longer have the van service. I said, what? Cost cutting. Did away with the van service. Put who knows how many people out of jobs. So, you know what they're doing now? Lyft. Instead of getting picked up by the hospital van, I have a Lyft driver who will transport me to Dr. Tai Chi. And then when I'm done with Dr. Tai Chi, I call and a Lyft will take me home. You mean to tell me that Lyft is that much cheaper? Now, these were the 15 passenger Ford vans. One van pick up 14 people. Number 15 is the driver. Now they are paying for individual Lyft rides for those patients. I don't understand how that's a cost-cutting measure. Now, yes, I know commercial insurance is expensive and upkeep on the vans is expensive and wages, but how is it you're ordering let's say they pick up 45 people a day between the Parma van service and the main campus van service. Now you're going to be ordering 45 lifts a day? It's Prism is telling me that my YouTube is healthy. Healthy, it says. I think my YouTube is screwed up. Yeah, I I cannot believe, unless Lyft is really quoted a cheap price to get the contract, which basically, you know damn right well, the person that's getting shafted is the drivers. Like the last time I had an Uber, and the guy told me to pick me up from my house and take me to Metro Parma. He was getting paid $7. Now, who knows what Uber is charging the hospital, but he said $7. I think he was kind of hawking for a tip. So now, anytime I'm going to either Deaconess, or if I have to go to the main, or if I need a ride to Parma, they will send me a lift. It's already booked. Matter of fact, they sent me a come on, phone. Yeah. It says outpatient transportation scheduled a ride for you with Lyft, a ride share company. You will pick me up November 18th out front at 2 o'clock. Drop me off at my appointment. When I'm done with my appointment, I have a phone number to call. And I get my ride home. I feel sorry for all the people they put out of work. Because you know damn right well, if they're, and believe me, ever since Mr. Big Hair start cutting all these costs, all this funding, it's amazing. Every department that I have gone to, there are fewer people. And they want you to do everything, instead of going to the front desk to check in, they want you to use the kiosk. I'm not checking myself in. I want to keep them people at that front desk working. I get emails from my chart, pre-check in. I just delete them. Fuck you. Because that way, when I walk in that hospital, I go to the front desk and I keep that person working, because that person is now having personal contact with a patient. Although there used to be 6, now there's 4. So they've eliminated 2 people. My pain management doctor's office, they've eliminated 3 nurses. Just how many people are you going to put out of jobs? I don't know how many vans they had, but let's say they got 20. That's 20 people that no longer have jobs. Yeah, Ron. I mean, why do an online pre-check-in? Because when you arrive, they still have to check in and do a bunch of shit. I told the girl at the front desk, I says, when I get the pre-check-in emails, I delete son of a bitches. And I told her I'm not going to walk over by that elevator and check myself in at a kiosk. And I've mentioned this before. It used to be when I would show up for an appointment, the first thing, they put you on a scale and weigh you. Then they take you in a room and take your vitals. No more. Like the last time I went to see my pain management doctor, I checked in. My pain management doctor come out in the lobby to get me. And then we go back to the exam room, and he's at the computer doing. And I even commented to him, no more weigh in, no more vitals. No. Same thing. I go to see my shrink. There's a window and a desk for a receptionist. Nobody's there. He comes out. Grumpy. Come on. Okay. Insurance costs go up and hospital service goes down. I made the comment to my shrink. I said, if I have to have surgery on this toe, I can see it already. I'll walk myself into the operating room, lay down on the operating table, put the shit, get myself my own anesthetic. Do you want me to assist with surgery, Doc? No, just lay there. I mean, that's what it's coming to. Oh, you'll love this. Down, there's a workbench in the basement, and there's a bunch of shelves. And I've yet to go through all the shelves. I have my own tools. The only time I really use the workbench is for the vise. So, today, I don't know why, I'm looking at the top shelf, and there's a bunch of boxes, and I see this red thing. This was on the shelf. Oh, oh well, I didn't need the receiver anyway. Remember these days? Come on, hold the phone, asshole. Hello? Hello? Nobody's here. The days you could hang up on somebody. Take that, asshole! It's like brand fucking new. A rotary dial landline. I forgot. They don't stay well. A rotary dial landline. In hideous red. Oh, Kathy, I've given up on them. I will find them in a stupid place. I know that. Because any of the normal places, they're not there. I don't. They still got the tag on them. I tried them on to make sure they. And I set them aside. Somewhere. Somewhere. I know when I'll find them. The middle of January when it's like minus 20 outside. I'm like, oh, my shorts. and then I'll put them away, and then I won't be able to find them come spring. It's ridiculous. I I even looked in shoe boxes, because I have 3 or 4 pair of brand new shoes I haven't worn. I'm like, oh, did I maybe put them in a shoe box with the shoes? No. Took every drawer out of my dresser, emptied it on the bed, put everything back in. Nope. Not in the dresser, not in the closet. They vanished. Gone. Like the cameras. I got 3 cameras. Two AI cameras that basically follow you. I tried them out once just to see if they worked. Move, camera going. Brr, brr. Put them in the box. I'm going to put them away in a safe place. They're safe, all right. They're probably with the red cargo shorts. I probably wrapped the cameras in the red cargo shorts and put them somewhere. I just don't. It's scary. What I don't understand is when I tried them on and they fit perfect, why I didn't leave them out. It's, I went through everything in the closet thinking, all right, maybe I hung them on a hanger and hung something over them, like a shirt or a jacket. Nope. Because I have some of those hangers that have clips. So I could clip the shorts and then put a shirt on the hanger. I didn't do that. I mentioned it to my shrink. I said, I'm losing my mind. I said, I bought a brand new pair of cargo shorts. I tried them on. They fit perfect. I didn't even cut the tag off. Put them away somewhere. I said, I bought 3 video cameras. One kind of high end, like my Logitech here, and 2 AI cameras with follow you technology. I tested them. They worked. I put them back in the box and put them in a safe place. He said, well, I guess you're going to have to get like a ledger and start writing things down. I said, yeah, it'd be my luck, I'd lose the fucking ledger. At least I'm not putting the remote in the refrigerator. Although my buddy's wife, my neighbor down the street, she's starting to scare me. He says to me the other day, he said, I'm kind of worried about Marge. I says, why? Is it something wrong? He said, well, she was ironing the winter drapes. She has summer drapes and winter drapes. The winter ones are insulated. She finished ironing the drapes and hung them. She folded up the ironing board, put it in the closet. He said, I go to make a cup of coffee. I need to get the half and half out of the fridge. I open the fridge, and the iron is setting on the shelf in the refrigerator. I said, well, maybe she was cooling it off before she put it in the closet. He said, I hope so. Yeah, he opened the fridge. There was the Proctor Silex steam iron. I hope she was cooling it off to put it in the cupboard with the ironing board. Because if she stuck it in the fridge, what's in the cupboard? Well, let's see. The iron's in the fridge, and oh, there's a gallon of milk in the cupboard. Okay. This microphone is another one of them new ones with an echo. Echo. Hello. 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 I'm in the building all by myself. There's nobody here. Hello. It's good for a sound effect now and then, but then, here, Kathy, I bought this microphone, oh, I'll say maybe a year and a half ago. Comes on this nice arm, has that built-in echo. I put it I put the box, put it back in the box. I tried it, it worked. I put it back in the box, and I put the box under the console in Studio One. I'm browsing eBay, and I see this cool looking microphone. So I bought it. It was like $27. Identical, same thing. I have two of these. I discovered that yesterday. I pull a box out from under the console and I was like, oh, I'm going to use this microphone tomorrow. And then I looked under the console and I was like, why do I have two of the same identical goddamn microphone? So I have two of these. And of course, by the time I discover I can't return it. Yeah, two of these identical, and I really don't care for them. But you know, I bought them. It would be different if it was one of them freebies from my buddy's house. I could say, oh, I don't care for this one. When you're paying out of your pocket and you don't really care for them, you get burned twice. Oh, Marianne has done that. She donated a shitload of clothes to Goodwill. And then about a month later, she went to Goodwill and saw a sweater she donated and bought it back. And then she had the nerve to tell me, yeah, I donated this sweater and then I saw it in the store and I was like, why did I get rid of it? And she bought it back. Only to tell me she is yet to wear it. She donated it because she wasn't wearing it, buys it back from Goodwill, and still hasn't worn it. Now, I haven't done that. And then, like I say, she had the nerve to tell me. She says, I donated, I donated a bunch of. I said, yeah, Marianne, you told me you were clearing the closets out and that. She goes, well, I went to Goodwill and I don't know why I donated that sweater, so I bought it back. I said, why? She goes, because I liked it. I said, I see you out in the yard in different sweaters. Which one is it? Oh, it's still in the closet. I haven't worn it yet. I can totally understand why she's never been married. I don't know how her and Michael were together for as long as, well, in a way I know because Michael had his house in Cleveland Heights and she had her house here in West Park. But then, remember they bought the farm in Georgia? And she told me she was so worried because they had never lived together. They'd spend like a weekend, but had never lived together. And he had his room and she had hers. And then unfortunately Michael passed, and she moved back up here, but I kind of understand why She'd never been married. And my shrink just loved the story I told him about the weed patch behind her garage. Oh, this is thistle bomb weed. This is good for a sore throat. You boil it down and you drink it. It's like Mary Ann, if you got a sore throat, you go to the drugstore and you get some medicine. Oh, why? I have this weed in the back. I boil it, and chill it, and drink it. Okay. Then she gives me, well, it was good enough for the Indians. Well, yeah, 200 years ago. That's why I don't mention doctor's appointments to her, medications that I have to take. I could see, tell her, oh, my doctor gave me a prescription for blood pressure medicine. Oh, I got cocklebur weed out here. You take a handful home and just chew on it. Your blood pressure will go right down. I don't think so. Here, take a handful. Yeah, she grows her own peppermint. She grows her own spearmint. She grows catnip. I'm trying to think what, because like the catnip, she makes catnip tea. I don't know what she probably mixes the peppermint with cocklebur weed so that when you drink it, it don't have a bad aftertaste or something. I don't know. And she's got this big patch behind her two-car garage of weeds. This weed's for this, and this weed's for headaches, and this weed I boil down, and then I reduce it to a syrup, and I rub it on my knee, and oh. Now, maybe it works for her. I, if I got knee pain, I'll go get some Gay Ben Gay. So, Kathy, you like my rotary dial telephone? Did that bring back memories? Back in the day? I'm going to show that to the young kids down the street. Here, here's what we used to talk on. Matter of fact, I have a box of road maps, like the ones you used to get from the gas stations. I unfolded one day and I said, here's our Google right here, our Google map. they were like, how the hell, how does it work? Well, you see right here, it says I-77. Okay, you take that south and you follow I-77. Yeah, they looked at that map like they were looking at an alien. It's called a map. You used to get them in the gas station. I remember our Texaco station. He had a big rack, had 48 different maps in it, one for every state. He didn't have Alaska or Hawaii. People come in, they're going, oh, I'm taking a trip to South Carolina. Okay, here's a map. I'm going to Florida. Here's a map. Have a nice day. But then you had to have a map for every state you're driving through. You know, once you get to the Ohio line, oh, wait a minute. Here's a map. Okay, here's another map. Take a colored pencil, draw the route. I remember, I think it was fifth grade. We had to get an Ohio map and we had to do a tour of Ohio. Like we're going on vacation and all the tourist traps that we were going to stop at. And then you had to explain, like, we're going to stop at Blue Hole. Oh, Blue Hole. Oh. And then here's one that, Kathy, do you ever hear of the Ernest Werther Museum? Ernest Werther. I think it's Warther. Ernest Werther. He was a famous carver. He carved all kinds of shit. Yeah, Google that sometime. Ernest Werther Museum. He was a world famous carver. And you remember Blue Hole, don't you? One of the biggest tourist traps in Ohio. It was supposedly bottomless. It was like a sinkhole full of water. They said it was bottomless. And the water had kind of a bluish tinge to it. They called it Blue Hole. And people would drive down and stand around the fence, around this puddle of water, and look. Oh, look at bottomless. They'd throw pennies in. You never heard of Blue Hole? Look that one up too. Used to be a big tourist trap. I remember we did a day trip, and we went to Ernest Werther's Museum, Blue Hole, McKinley's tomb. We visited McKinley's tomb because McKinley is buried in Ohio. What else did we go to? Oh, the Ohio Caverns. Now, those were neat. The Ohio Caverns. When we got down to the bottom, the guy, just for a couple minutes, shut the lights off. And I mean, you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. But the Ohio Caverns were cool. And we went to Old Man's Cave in Hocking, Ohio. That is still a big tourist trap. Old Man's Cave in Hocking, Ohio. There's like 3 million visitors a year to Old Man's Cave. Yeah, we went to Old Man's Cave. We went to the Ohio Caverns. Those were cool. Oh, God. Of all times, not to have a camera. Because you went down this long set of stairs and you got to the bottom, and the guy said, just to show you something, how far underground we are, I'm going to turn off the lights. Click. And you couldn't see your fucking, click. Thank God he turned them back on. Yeah, Gargle Blue Hole. I think it's Castalia, Ohio, if I remember right. Blue Hole. That's what the name of it was. Blue Hole. Was like a sinkhole full of water. Supposedly was bottomless. But evidently it wasn't, because when Blue Hole went out of popularity, I guess they pumped it out and filled it in. It's no longer a tourist trap. But back in the 60s it was. There must have been 500 people standing around that fence, trying to, throwing pennies in, watching them vanish. There was probably $1 million in change in the bottom of that pit. But Old Man's Cave in Hocking Hills is still a big, popular, well, it's a state park. I don't remember a lot of it because I must have been like 8, 9 years old. I don't know why I remember Blue Hole so much, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Blue Hole was in Castalia. And I can't remember where Ohio Caverns are. That's still a tourist trap, too. But Blue Hole disappeared. And that was it. It wasn't like there was amusement rides or anything. You pulled in, you paid your admission, you walked over the fence, looked at the water. Oh, cool. That's it. Just water. And the owners are like, well, it's bottomless. Really? How do you know? Well, we tied a weight on fishing line, and we had to keep adding fishing line to the, and we had never touched down. How much fishing line did you have? Oh, about 1,000 feet, and it never hit bottom. We ran out of fishing line. Oh, okay. Then you went to the souvenir shop and you bought a bunch of shit, and we got in the car and. Oh, I didn't know we had two. Really? I only remember well, that's the one we went to see in Castalia. But I know that when it lost its tourist appeal, they just shut it down, and I don't know. I don't know what. I mean, what would you do with it? West Liberty, okay. I remember because it was the one time my father actually agreed to go somewhere. And it was us in our car and my cousins and my aunt and uncle. There were three cars. My father, my mother, me, and my little sister. And then my aunt and uncle in the second car and my cousins, and then my aunt and uncle in the third car and my cousins, and we did this road trip. And we went to Castalia to see Blue Hole. We went to the caverns. We went to Hocking Hills, this old man's cave, and Ernest Werther Museum. It was a day trip. It's the only time we ever really went anywhere. But I had to be 8, 9, maybe 10 years old. Of course, you're 8 years old and you're standing looking at this hole in the wall, puddle of water. It's bottomless. Really? Wow. Can we get souvenirs, Dad? No, they're too fucking expensive. I'll buy you a postcard. Okay. Now, the Ohio Caverns were cool. I remember them really, mainly because the guy shut the lights off and it was like, holy shit, it's dark down here. And it was cold. I remember that. It was cold. I mean, Ohio has got some neat historical areas. People don't people that live in this state don't appreciate it. I wish I could have taken the trip again. I would love to see the caverns again. I would absolutely love to, see Old Man's Cave. Not so much, McKinley's tomb, big deal, monument. Okay, that's it. Not even a souvenir stand, just this thing in the middle of the park. Okay. But you're a young kid and you're going on a big long car ride, of course, days before air conditioning. And we'd stop somewhere, roadside hot dog stand. I mean, that was the cool part for the kids. Every so often we'd stop, get a hot dog or candy or something to keep us occupied. I would like to, I'd like to see the caverns. I don't know so much about Old Man's Cave. I don't remember that one too much. But they get 3 to 4 million visitors a year down there at Hocking Hills. Matter of fact, 5, 6 years ago, a woman got killed down there. These teenage kids were being a bunch of smartasses, and they rolled a log off the edge of this hill, and it was like 70 pounds. And there was a photographer taking high school pictures at the entrance to Old Man's Cave, using it as a backdrop for the high school pictures. And these kids kicked this log off or threw it over the edge and crushed her skull, killed her. I remember that. She was a school teacher on top of it, because I remember the woman's husband and her family literally begged the judge to give these kids a bit of a second chance. And begged the prosecutor, because the prosecutor charged him with murder. And I think they got second-degree manslaughter or something. I think they served 10 years, maybe less. I know people were kind of outraged at the sentence, but the the family of the woman that got killed literally begged the prosecutor and the judge, hey, don't ruin their lives. They did something stupid. They're they're redeemable. So instead of getting charged with murder, it got reduced, and maybe they only got 5 years. And the bullshit was neither kid thanked the woman's husband for begging to give them a break. Neither kid. Yeah, as a matter of fact, there's a YouTube, a whole thing on that. They were the two boys and a couple of their friends were up on top of the cave, and she was taking high school pictures and using the entrance to the cave as a backdrop. And they took this 70-pound log and shoved it over the edge, and it went direct down and crushed her skull. And then both of them denied it. They pointed the finger at each other. And when they got arrested, the one kid's mother, she was a single mother. And she was sobbing her eyes out. He's never been away from me, in 17 years. And you can't take him to juvenile because there's bad people there. And the one detective said, well, your son ain't no angel. He killed a woman. Not him, no. Yeah, I loved it when the mother went, you can't take him to juvenile detention. There's bad people there. Your son ain't no angel, lady. Yeah, it was, maybe 10 years. But there was a whole thing on YouTube, the investigation and the whole 9 yards. You, if you look it up, you'll find it. Look up teacher killed in Hocking Hills, Old Man's Cave or something. You'll find the YouTube video. But you have to gargle it first so that. But yeah. As a matter of fact, the one kid wasn't even supposed to be there. "16, 17. I think one was 16, one was 17. They charged them both as adults. Or maybe one was 15 and the other was 16. They were between 15 and 17, but they both got charged as adults. Yeah, the log was like 70 pounds. And when it hit her, people screamed and everything, and they went the other way. Let's go in the car. Get out of here. And then there were a bunch of text messages. They had planned their story out, and the one, he had made the comment on Facebook, I'm 16 years old and I already got a body on me, which means he killed somebody. And the detectives were like, what's this Facebook message here? I remember the YouTube, well, the investigation and everything, and that kid's mother. You can't take him to juvenile court. There's bad people there. He's never been away from me in 17 years. I'm a single mother. I raised him by myself. The detective said, well, you didn't do that good of a job. He sneaks out of the house, goes down to the Hocking Hills, kills a woman, and they were getting ready to handcuff him, and she's hanging on him. You can't take him. You can't take him. The police officer said, ma'am, step back. The detective said, if you interfere here, you're going to get the silver bracelet too. But it was amazing how her husband and her kids and the whole family literally begged the prosecutor and the judge, hey, don't ruin their lives. They did something stupid. They're redeemable. Don't ruin their lives. And neither kid thanked any of them. They could have got life. Well, you can't give a teenager life under that goofy law, but they could have got 50 years. Yeah, they were 16, 15, 16, 17. They weren't. And the one kid was a real smartass. Of course, his mother was sitting right there, so, she was egging him on. You're treating him like a criminal. The detective just looked at her like, what? Do you kind of get what I'm saying? Your son killed somebody. He's saying he didn't do it. I believe him. The detectives, they were just shaking their head like, oh man, this woman is. Maybe it was 10 years ago. I remember it. It was big news, especially with it being a state park. It was real big news at the time. I remember it. Because it was in the newspaper, was TV. Teacher killed at old man's cave, photographing, seniors. Hit in the head with 70-pound log. And one of the reasons it stuck with me is I had been there when I was 8, 9 years old. I was like, oh, I remember this place. But it was a big news story for a while. because they said visitorship increased because people wanted to see where the woman got killed. They noticed a huge spike in visitors. Okay, Jimmy, stand right there. That's where I'm going to take your picture where she got hit in the head with the log. It goes to show you how sick people are. Ooh, I want to go see the spot where she was killed. Like there's going to be a big X, stand on the X. Can I get a few 8x10 glossies? Sure. I like the racing stripe. I'm really gonna different mic tomorrow. Same background, different mic. I really don't like this one. Although I do like using my little amplifier because I haven't used them in ages. Oh, I know why. I know why I bought these. I know why. Because I bought this headset, not knowing that this headset needs an amplifier. The first time I used it, I was like, I can't hear a damn thing. I'm turning the volume up on the microphone. Then I looked at the instructions, and it said, must be used with headphone amplifier. And then I bought these, which do not require an amplifier unless you use this microphone. These two microphones are the only ones that require a headphone amplifier. But I remember buying and these are expensive. I paid like $90 for them. I put them on, plug them in. What the hell's the matter with these things? I was getting ready to send them back. And I look in the box and it goes, use of these headphones requires a headphone amplifier. I didn't even know they made these. So I gargle, headphone amplifier. And up pops headphone amplifiers. So I bought the first one from Rockville Electronics. And then this one came from Duke Audio. And I can't remember where the third one came from. I mainly bought them because they had different color tubes. And then when I bought these, I didn't need them because these plug directly into the microphone unless you're using this microphone. Then this microphone plugs into a headphone amplifier and you plug your headphones into the amplifier. At least I got to use it. Although I forgot that it takes a while for tubes to warm up. I'm like, what the hell's the matter with this thing? I'm like, oh, it's tubes. Once the tubes warmed up, oh man, I could hear. You notice the last couple of nights we're missing somebody in the chat? Not that I'm upset. But 2 nights in a row now. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that package in the morning. I'm going to put it back on the front porch under those 2 signs, and I'm going to take a bunch of pictures and I'm going to send them to Amazon. And I'm going to tell them, your goddamn delivery people can't read. Or they thought it was funny. Oh, look, it says don't deliver package here. I guess tomorrow I'm going to order the big sign. And I'm going to get a 5-gallon bucket. And I'm going to fill it with bricks. And I'm going to mount the sign to a post. And then I'm going to put the 5-gallon bucket right in the middle of the walkway that goes up to the front porch. That says, stop. Do not deliver packages here. And they'll just go around the bucket, drop it on the porch underneath the other 2 signs. Today, I put my green LED license plate lights in. Now my back license plate looks cool. So now I have green daytime running lights, green headlights, green front turn signals, and green rear license plate lamps. And the Passat has those turn signals on the edge of the fender, right by the, almost by the door. I put green bulbs in there too. I was thinking of putting green bulbs in the dome lights. I might have to see inside the car. but I've greened everything else. Oh, Kathy, you get this, okay? I was supposed to go to lunch with my buddy and his wife tomorrow to Joe's Deli, okay? Now, we always have this impasse because they get up at 5 in the morning. So at 11:30, they're ready for lunch. I get up at 9. I'm not ready for lunch at 11:30. So I told them, I said, hey, I might be about 5 or 10 minutes late because I have to make a stop on the way to the restaurant. She sends me a big text message. We're going to have to cancel then because we don't want to tie up a waitress and a table. Wait a minute. There's an area with couches and chairs where you wait. You can't walk in and say, we have one more coming. We'll be waiting over here. And when he gets here, we'll need a table. Nope. Canceled. We don't want to tie up a waitress and a table. Well, why are you going to walk in and get a table right away if I'm not there? And you can't wait 10 minutes? Yeah, we're going to have to cancel. I says, okay, no problem. Now, last year, on my birthday, I got there before they did. I sat down because I told the hostess I'm waiting for two friends. When they get here, then we'll need a table. I'll be sitting right here. They came in. I walked up to the hostess and I said, we'll need a table for 3. We'll be waiting right here. About 5 minutes later, table for 3 for Grumpy. No, they were going to walk in and get a fucking table and like, oh, I was going to tell her, last year, I waited for you. I didn't tell a waitress that I need a table for 3. Seat me, please. Oh, whatever. So she says to me, we'll discuss it Sunday. Well, no, we're not going to discuss it. It would have been nice to meet them for lunch, but I'm done. The stupidest thing I ever heard. Why would you get a fucking table if I'm not there yet? Oh, we got to cancel then. Okay, fine with me. No big fucking deal. Send me a gift card. I'll get my own sandwich. If she brings it up Sunday, I'm going to tell her, hey, it would have been nice to see you two years, sit down, talk about old times. But hey, I I don't eat that early. I says to her, I said, can't we make it like 1 o'clock? Oh, Eddie and I, we can't wait that long. If we eat at 1, then we're not going to want to eat dinner at 4. Well, you're fucking retired. Why are you still getting up at 5 a.m.? Yeah, they get up at 5. They have an English muffin or a bagel. And then 11:30, they're eating lunch. And then they eat dinner at 4. And they go to bed at 8. So that they can get up at 5. Not everybody on earth has your schedule. I don't know how many times, Kathy, I've said to the two of them, why on God's green earth you get up so goddamn early? You're retired. They've been retired since they were 65. They're both 74. Then she tells me, well, Eddie is kind of adjusting his schedule. Sometimes he sleeps in till 5:30. Oh, fuck. I would love to see them. I mean, I've known the two of them since 6th grade. We went through middle school and high school, and we've been in touch constantly since 1970. So it would be nice to see them. I mean, they live out in fucking bumfuck Egypt, out in North Ridgeville, in a Bob Schmidt clusterfuck cluster home retirement community with an HOA on top of it. And I don't get to see him. I'm not driving out to bumfuck Egypt. No. So we agreed to meet in the middle. Joe's Deli. And I was looking forward to that big corned beef sandwich. But then when she comes back with, oh, yeah, I mean, let's see. Oh, let me, I'm sorry, but we will have to reschedule. We don't know when to judge the time for us to be there, and we can't tie up a waitress and a table waiting, especially on Friday, on a busy lunchtime schedule. Why would you walk in and tie up a fucking table before I get there? And you can't wait 10 minutes? I told them 10 minutes. I have to make a quick stop. So when she brings it up Sunday, I'm going to tell her, the weather's getting crappy and I'm not going to want to drive in the snow. So let's just leave it canceled. I was going to text her back and say, there's a waiting area. Walk in, tell the hostess we're waiting for one person. We'll be right here. We'll need a table for 3. And when I show up, all she's got to do is go, asshole's here now. Wait to say, okay, as soon as we get a table, we'll call you. And heaven forbid, it might take 10 minutes for us to get a table. Oh my God, we're eating so late. Oh. In order for me to go tomorrow, Kathy, I would have to get up at least 6 o'clock, have my coffee, take my medication, and even at 11:30, I'm not ready to eat. Not everybody on earth is that stupid that they still get up at 5 in the morning and they haven't worked for 10 fucking years. Anybody I know that's retired that was forced to get up at 4 or 5 or 6 a.m., they sleep in till 8:30, 9 o'clock. Oh no, not these two. Especially if she's got to go shopping up at 5. Oh, Walmart opens at 6:30 in Walmart. Out the door, back home. I said, you can't shop like at noon, 1 o'clock. Oh no, oh no. Yeah, she's outside the door waiting for the manager to unlock the door. Come on, I gotta shop. Come on, hey, I gotta shop. I'll tell you, they remind me of a customer I had when I was managing the body shop at Crossroads Lincoln Mercury. Now, Crossroads used to be on Rockside. I think, 21 in Rockside? They were there for years. When the old man retired, he sold the dealership, and it's not even there anymore, but this guy would come in and get his oil changed on a regular basis, okay? Now, he would be parked outside the garage door before the fucking dealership opened in the morning. As soon as the service manager would come in and turn on a light, he'd be blowing the horn. There wouldn't be nobody, the mechanics weren't even there yet. One light goes on in the shop. Then he'd get his oil changed and go home and do nothing the rest of the day. But he had to be the first one in the door. And he would be parked outside waiting. Because the service manager and we were good friends. He'd come back and he goes, "What is with your customer?" Hey, I don't have any control over him. Yeah, he would, the service manager, he'd come in the back door, turn the alarm off, turn the light on in his office. As soon as the light went on, that's the way these two are. Oh, you got a sister like that? Oh, then you know what I'm talking about. And, Kathy, I have tried to be polite and tell them, you know, I have insomnia. Sometimes I don't fall asleep until 4:30 in the morning. I'm They will not budge. So they couldn't wait 10 minutes. I told them, I said, I won't be any later than 11:45. I have to make a quick stop. Oh, forget it. So I don't go to lunch. Big deal. I'll go buy my own sandwich. I could not believe that text message. Why on God's green earth would you walk in on a Friday, busy lunch, and tie up a table? You couldn't put your ass on the couch and wait a few minutes for me? No. And if she brings it up Sunday, Kathy, I'm going to tell her. Last year in November, I got there because you guys were late. There was an accident on 480 or something. I told the hostess, I'm waiting for two friends. We'll need a table for three. I'll be right here. I sat on the couch, comfy couch, nice comfy leather couch, and they walked in and they came right over to me, and I just signaled the hostess. They're here. She wrote a little, scribbled on her little pad. It was maybe 6, 7 minutes. Table, come on. And they literally will tell the waitress, we don't know, we don't need menus. We know what we're going to order. I would like to look at a menu. But last Sunday, I told her, I won't need a menu. I know what I'm going to order. So when we sit down, we can tell the waitress, take our order. You want coffee? You want... Take our order. Because I knew I wanted a corned beef sandwich. Well, either a corned beef or a Reuben. But since I had sauerkraut yesterday, corned beef. But they will not budge from their schedule. It's literally, fuck you. This is the time we eat. Period. You will conform to us. No. They eat lunch 7 days a week, 11:30. Not 11:31, not 11:32, 11:30. And then they eat dinner at 4. And then they go to bed at 8. So that they can be up at 5. Yeah, she's told me many times. We watch the evening news, and then we might watch a program for half an hour after the evening news at 7, and then we go to bed at 8. Seven days a week, 365 days a year. I said to her, you go to bed at 8? I'm halfway through my YouTube program at 8. She goes, what's a YouTube program? I said, gargle it. And they don't own a computer. He has his iPad and she has her iPad, and they refuse to order anything online for fear someone will steal their identity. How do you like that one? I said, you know, nothing? Well, maybe once or twice a year we'll order something from Amazon. I said, oh, really? But they have a special credit card for Amazon that has a $500 limit. And if they order something from Amazon, they use that special credit card. But they don't like ordering online for fear someone will steal their identity. I think, Kathy, she had heart failure when I told her I order online constantly. eBay, Temu. Temu? Oh my God. That Chinese outfit? Oh God. One day you're going to wake up and you're going to be in so much trouble. I, I think she's related to Marianne. Uh, you know, Kathy, yeah, I was looking forward to it. I wasn't looking forward to eating a corned beef sandwich for breakfast, which I don't eat, but I was going to humor them because I wanted to see them. They wanted to take me out for my birthday. Okay, I'll humor you with your goddamn 11:30 in the morning shit. But then you can't give me 10 minutes? I What I should have done was showed up late and said, "Oh, I had car trouble, but I'm here." Why? I don't understand them. Why would you walk in, get a table, and say, "Oh, by the way, we have a third person coming"? I just, but they will not budge. I could almost guarantee if I showed up at 11:32, they'd have been like, "You're late." Sorry. And the sad thing is, in their clusterfuck development, all these seniors are like this. I just, first of all, I know you're in a routine. You got up at, well, Eddie used to get up at 3 in the morning for 30 years because he started at 6 and they lived out in bumfuck Egypt. He worked over on fucking Harvard. The day I retired, I would say, thank God I get to sleep in now. Not them. I almost pissed myself laughing when she goes, "Oh, sometime Eddie sleeps in now till 5:30." Like that. I'm sure he's up at 5 and he's just laying there going, I'll just lay here for a little bit. Up, it's 5:30. Oh, I got to get up. And I'm pretty sure, I think Walmart opens at 6:30 out in Ridgeville. She is there at 6:30. Goes in, gets her 5 or 6 items, self checkout, bang, home. And then they sit around all day. I said, you can't shop like at 10 or 11. Oh, God, I hate crowds. How much of a crowd is going to be at Walmart at 10 o'clock in the morning on a weekday? Chris, you would think that there's 5,000 people waiting to come in the store. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the two of them to death. We've been like the Three Musketeers since we graduated. There has not been a Sunday we haven't talked to each other. Every Sunday, noon. Matter of fact, you could set your watch by it. I look at the clock. It's 11:59. Noon. My phone's ringing. Oh, Black Friday. She don't even go. She refuses to go. I told her, I said, I said, you're looking for a new TV, okay? I said, you want to get a 50-inch. What if on Black Friday that 50-inch TV was $50? Oh, no. You talk about two crotchety old retired seniors that are set in their ways. And this is the proof. They would not budge for 10 minutes. Oh, you're not going to be there 11:30? Oh, cancel. Okay, no big deal. As a matter of fact, Joe's has a satellite restaurant at 117th and Madison. If I want a corned beef sandwich tomorrow, it's 10-minute drive. I can go get one, bring it home, and eat at home. I don't care. I don't have to be sitting with a napkin tucked in my shirt with a bunch of other people staring at me. Look at that idiot with the weird chin beard. I kind of like my chin beard. And that would be another thing. She hates facial hair. I would walk in the restaurant and she'd go, "What's this?" Well, it was on my head when I left the house. I don't know how it got in my chin. Oh, Jesus Christ. It was up here when matter of fact, I combed it. I don't know how it got down here. Oh, I kind of like that. I look like Yosemite Sam. Yosemite Sam had the split beard, didn't he? Or was it, no, Foghorn Leghorn? He was the big chicken. I say, boy, boy, I say, boy. Oh, this, she'd have been like, "What's this?" I'd like, oh, holy fuck, that was on my head when I left the house. How the hell did that get down there? Oh, damn it. I was thinking of braiding it. Oh yeah, she hates facial hair. Absolutely hates it. Oh, was it son? I say, yeah, yeah. It's not boy, son. Son, I say, son, come here, son. Hey, are you listening to me? He takes out the 2x4 and he whacks the dog in the ass. Cartoons they're no longer allowed to show. It's sad. You can't find a Warner Brothers cartoon anymore. You can't. Because, like, when Foghorn Leghorn would grab the 2x4 and whack the dog in the ass, oh, or Wile E. Coyote dropping an anvil on Roadrunner. I did that. I did that a couple of years ago. You can look at my old YouTube videos. I had hair down to my shoulders and a beard, full beard. It got to be a pain in the ass washing it, drying it. So I just shaved the head again. And then every couple of days I get the weed whacker out. But this, I'm letting it grow. Although I've got a hot comb made for beards. I haven't hot combed it lately. It straightens it. Nothing like the smell of burning hair, you know. Combing the beard out, going, something burning here. But it will straighten it real nice. One of these days I got to have a barber straighten it. Have him cut it straight across. Or just leave it the way it is. I'd like to grow it down to like my waist. And then split it in half and pull it up behind my ears and pull it over my head, you know. Yeah, Kathy, she would have done that. I would have walked in and she would have grabbed me and went, what's this? That's when I'd have told her. I was like, holy shit, that was up here. I combed it before I left the house. I don't know how it got down here. Because I remember, oh God, it almost caused a divorce. Eddie wanted to grow a mustache. She told him, you grow a mustache, you can live in the garage. You aren't coming near me. Okay. It's pretty sad when you're the man of the house, earning the big bucks, and you're not allowed to grow a beard or a mustache or cut your hair a different way. Oh no. She's like, I grow this just to piss her off once a year. Because she doesn't know that it's this long. But she would have had a fit. I would have walked into Joe's restaurant and she, what's this? Ow, 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 ow. Jesus. You're going to rip it out by the roots. Oh, so you know exactly what I'm talking about then. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And it's sad. It's just. But, hey. I was looking forward to it. Kathy, I've had bigger disappointments in my life. This is no way going to affect me. I'm not going to sit here tomorrow and cry, you know, oh, I could have hit, oh. Hey, I'm going to look at it at the point it's her loss, not mine. Because I could guarantee She didn't even talk to her husband. She got my text message and went, fuck it, canceled. And they probably sat down at dinner at 4 o'clock, and she went, we're not going to lunch tomorrow. He was going to be late. And Eddie is just going to be, yes, dear. No problem. Yes, dear. No big deal. But she's going to be surprised Sunday when she wants to reschedule. And I'm going to tell her, nah, the weather's getting nasty. I don't want to be driving. No, we'll do it next year. Right. 100% right. Not everybody lives the way you do. You have made the choice to live that way. Not me. I, Kathy, I literally wouldn't have gotten any sleep tonight because 4:30 rolls around when I would be falling asleep and I'd be like, oh shit, I'm not going to get up on time. I'll just fucking stay up. Like, everybody knows. When the show's over, I make dinner. I am not going to be ready to eat at 11:30 tomorrow morning. And she just goes bonkers. You eat what time? Yeah, I eat 2 hours after you go to bed. And I've been doing it since 2004 because I got in the habit when I was working at the hospital. I worked till 8 p.m. Now, I could have eaten at the hospital. I prefer to be like a normal human being who comes home from work and has dinner. That's my schedule. But over 10 fucking minutes. 10 minutes. I might not even have been 10 minutes late. I'm just dropping something off. Walk in, here you go, see ya, out the door. It's, as a matter of fact, Kathy, it's the paperwork for my heap. My heap and my percentage of income payment plan for my electric. I got the paperwork right here. Right here. All I gotta do is walk in the door and give it to the receptionist. I'll be back for this after lunch. Here you go. Right here. Quick stop. Pull in the parking lot, get out of the car, walk up to the, open the door. Receptionist is right there. Here you go. Because they're expecting it. They know I'm dropping it off. Here you go. See ya. I'll be back 1:30, 2 o'clock. It'll be ready. Don't worry. I shouldn't have said a word. And then I show up 10 minutes late and they're like, well, what happened? I was like, the Passat been giving me problems. And then they would have went like, oh, yeah, that's right. But instead, I said I might be a couple minutes late. Canceled. Speaking of canceled, I think it's time to cancel the show and have dinner. Holy shit. Look at the time. God damn. Wow, you people are really hanging in with me tonight. We know where, right here. Well, thanks for putting up with me for this long. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And we will meet again tomorrow night. And Ron, thanks again, buddy. See ya.